I'm AK. I'm president of the Politics Society.
Hi, I'm Aditi and I'm an editorial team member for Incite.
Today we're here with Nigel, who's running for president of the Students' Union. Hi,
Nigel.
How are you, Nigel? How's the campaigning going?
Very well. I mean, it's difficult to find time in between all my studies and my positions that I have, but generally it's going quite well.
That's good to hear. So our first question is, in a quote from the leaflet, it says, leading the union involves having a vision. So what would you say your vision for the Students' Union is?
For me, the vision is more to represent the students themselves. I feel that quite a bit of the bodies inside the students itself, so student bodies are being neglected, and I want to represent them more, give a bigger voice to them, really get the issues that they are having and bring them back to the SU, bring them back to the uni and address them.
Okay. How do you feel that they're being neglected?
There's several things. For example, I'm going to take an example with the vet school. They're not really being presented very well at the moment. They're having to pay for a lot of things that they, in my opinion, shouldn't be having to pay for, such as mandatory PPE equipment. And this is the sort of thing that if you talk to them personally, you'll find out, because it's an issue with everyone across their department, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And many departments will have a similar issue.
So you've been president of the volleyball club and supervisor at chancellors. So what is your leadership style like, and how are you going to lead the other sabbatical teams and members of staff within the student union?
For me, it's very democratic. I like to do a very diplomatic approach. I like to get some viewpoints going around. I like to bounce some ideas off each other, and then in the end, as a leader, you'd have to choose with whatever is best. And sometimes there's standard situations that you get used to, and you just go with a certain procedure as well occasionally.
Okay. On your manifesto, you highlight the university's current problems in accommodation and housing. But you don't say what you're going to do about this. Could you expand on that and explain that a little bit more?
So currently off-campus accommodation is a huge issue across the entire university, no matter if you're an international student, local student, what department you're from. There is currently a very vague support system in place for finding off-campus accommodation. With vague, I mean it is literally them sending you to some accredited realtors, and it's not enough. It clearly isn't enough,
definitely.
And at this point something needs to be done. And I think the next step is to really get the university to really get involved with selections of properties, helping with budgeting if that is necessary for some students, and as well for international students to find the right guarantor. Because right now international students are having trouble finding guarantors, and the university becomes their guarantor, but only up to a certain amount for rent, and it's not enough. I think it's about £110 per week, which is in Guildford very low.
Yeah, definitely sounds like you've done your research. So your point about community is quite interesting, because you talk about giving back to Guildford and the local community within it. What do you mean by that exactly?
So Alex has been developing, current president has been developing a communication line between the local community and ourselves as students, the student body, which is very good. It's been improved lots, and at this point I think it's time to start asking something back in return as well. I mean, we have to keep developing this relationship, of course. We can't just break it, but we need to also start going, hey, what can you guys also do for our students? And these things include, in my opinion, student deals. When you look to London, very expensive city, but in the end, as a student, you can get by going to places where they have huge student discounts, and in the end, you could end up living cheaper in London as in expenditures on social events than here in Guildford.
So is there anything on your manifesto that you haven't included but that you would like to focus on?
Yes, it's something that I would like to call the campus cleanup. Basically, I love our campus. It's got a lot of nice areas, especially new buildings. I love the new buildings. I love that it's so green around here, but there's a lot of neglected space. There's a lot of unutilized space. And two examples of these is just beside the DK building. There's a huge platform that is just pavement, just concrete, just bricks right there that can be utilized by the economics school. There's a square that can be utilized, and these are things to utilize for campus lockers, on-campus lockers, cover biking racks. There's not enough of that either. those sort of things.
Okay. So we want to move on to sort of talking about the NUS and the National Student Survey boycott. So obviously the NUS is representing students and they've chosen to boycott this survey. What are your opinions on it? Are you in favour of boycotting or are you opposing the boycott?
The NSS boycott
survey, yeah.
I think the NSS is generally a very good thing. Of course, I don't agree with the fact of using NSS results to validate higher tuition fees. I think that is absolutely preposterous. Yeah. But then in the end, I do like the fact that there's an NSS. I do think it's important because it does show student satisfaction. I do think these are things that matter to people applying to universities. But yeah, like I said, the fact that universities are using these to validate tuition fees is ridiculous.
So how do you suggest that they should use that data alternatively?
For me, it's more about promotion. It's something that a university should use to promote their university, to say, hey, look, we got this student satisfaction in whatever department it may be, but it shouldn't be a reason for them to increase their own fees, like, oh, hey, look, we're so cool, we can do this without any repercussions, because there should be repercussions for it.
Yeah.
So in terms of your biggest strength and weakness, what would you say they are?
My weakness is my forgetfulness. I have ADD, attention deficit disorder. I get distracted a bit and I forget things. Over the years, I've been able to develop techniques to help me with that, especially just writing everything down, keeping very organized and structured schedule, which is one of my strengths. My other strength is my passion. I have a very strong passion and determination that I can really use that drive to keep me going for hours on end. And I can work hard, long hours, and I've done so in the past. I am doing it now, these past few weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
So these are things that I can bring back to the Students' Union. When I fight for something, I go all out, and I do spend the extra hours on going for the issues that matter.
I think that's really come across as well, like, especially with your research, like all these statistics that you have. You've definitely done your research, and we can definitely see your passion for it.
So, are there any political leaders that you look up to, or whose leadership style you're inspired by and that you would like to emulate?
Angela Merkel, the Bundeskanzlerin from Germany. Sorry, I speak German, so I might have just said that in German. But yeah, she I think is a very strong character because she's been having to lead Europe in a very difficult period, especially now with Brexit and even with Trump. And it's not always been easy for her. She's been under a lot of scrutiny. There's been a lot of pressure on her to step down, and every time that pressure came to her, you need to step down, she just kept stepping back up and saying, this is the platform that we need to set. These are the objectives we as the EU need to set, and I think she's a very strong character and individual that I truly admire.
So perseverance.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Do you have any else to add?
No, I'm quite right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in and chatting with us.
No problem. Thank you very much.
So Nigel is going for the role of president. There are also other candidates, so if you'd like to see their interviews, click on the videos in the description box.
Make sure you subscribe to Stag TV and check out our videos on Facebook, on the politics page and the Incite page.
Thank you.